Pledge is being used for the movable products, movable assets, whereas mortgage is being used for the immovable properties. So mortgage is the word that we are going to use for the immovable properties, whereas pledge is the word that we are going to use it for the movable properties. Now, what this particular reverse mortgage is, how the genesis has started, what we are going to call this reverse mortgage in United Kingdom, in United States of America, Western European countries, what is the progress that is being made, what are the different issues that are being covered here, we are going to look into. If a very important thing, we look into the introduction part as to what this particular reverse mortgage is. Reverse mortgage loan was introduced in India in 2007 to improve the life of house owning senior citizens. So, by this particular word, you come to know what this particular reverse mortgage is. Reverse mortgage or RML is a loan that enables them to meet their day-to-day expenses pertaining to food, medicine, and repair of the house. Minimum age of availing the RML is 60 years, irrespective of the gender difference. And if a couple seeks a joint loan, then age limit for the spouse is 55 years or above. So let us start our issue with regard to the housing in India. As you are aware of, the reverse mortgage loan and other things we are going to discuss, and what are the conditions that are to be fulfilled by the senior citizens, SCBs we call them as, in United Kingdom and in USA. First, look into the housing requirement. As you all state that India is one of the highly populated country in the world, we require roti, kapda, makan. In the first, I was telling you about the roti, isn't it? Kapda. Third one is makan. Makan is nothing but the housing requirement. Everyone dreams of owning his own small house that he wants to build up in his lifetime. A basic human necessity supporting economic activity. You require, if you have built a house, it is a very great thing, because we say in Karnataka, mane katti nodu, madve maadi nodu. So one of the achievement that you are going to do is the marriage, and another one is the construction of the house, because both of these two activities require huge amount of expenditure. That's why we have that particular usage. Mane katti nodu, madve maadi nodu. The second largest employment generator is the housing in our country. As a forward and backward linkages, because it is going to support 250 ancillary industries, because if a person is going to construct a house, he is going to see that he is going to provide a work for around 250 industries. How you can say? Cement industry, brick industry. Nowadays we see the cement bricks are being used. You have the crusher, jelly, we have the paint industry, we have the plumbing, sanitary, vitrified tiles, granite, and whatnot. You see all varieties of the industries are going to come into picture, and moreover you are going to provide the employment opportunity for so many people. Every rupee spent on construction, you see 75 to 80%
Hello?
added to.
Yes, brother, you have received an email from People Ads. They are requiring your consent. The final versions of radio jingle and TV ad. Yeah, we have made, brother.
So we had certain technical problem. You see, out of every 1 rupee that you are going to spend, 75% to 80% is going to be once again added back to the GDP. How? Because you are constructing the house, it is an asset for you and an investment that you are making. On the other side, expenditure is there. But that expenditure is going to be rolled out in the country, because once again it is going to give impetus for the progress of the industries. Different allied sectors are going to produce the product and they are going to supply the things for you. Government of India created enabling fiscal, monetary and legal environment. How you can say Government of India, because you are all commerce and management teachers, you file your own income tax returns. So you will be knowing how fiscal, that is taxation, monetary and legal environment is created in our country. If you are going to purchase a site, you are going to get a composite loan. You are going to get a loan for the construction also after 6 months, depending upon the different banks to whom you are going to approach. If you are going to purchase a house, if you outright purchase up to 75%, the banks are going to finance for you. 25% you have to put from your side. For example, if you are purchasing 2 CR house or a flat, 1.5 CR is to be invested by the bank, and another 50 lakhs at least you have to make the investment. Nowadays, banks are in a very motivated. They are going to provide lot of loans for you, because now and then we are going to receive the SMS messages that you are ready to get so much of loans, so much of approved loans is there from ICICI, HDFC. You are going to get in your mobile phones. Housing industry growth from the last 5 years, you can see physical terms 3% it has grown, and financial terms it has grown 30%, because the money is going to be rolled out there only from one industry to another industry. Because you purchase, once again production starts, people get their employment. When they get the employment, salary is paid for them. They once again make investment in their house. Once again savings will be there. Once again the money will be rolled back to the private and the government, and it is going to be rolled out. Contribution of housing in the GDP is about 6%, and percentage of mortgage debt to GDP is 8.50, and it is below China, because in China mortgage debt to GDP is a 12%. In Malaysia it is 22%. In Hong Kong it is 40%, and in USA it is 65%. Whereas in our case, you can see it is just 8.50% mortgage debt to GDP ratio. Next, we are going to think of housing finance market, how it is there in our country. This particular pictorial representation is going to tell you all about the different household corporations, banks, trusts, provident funds, how the money is being rolled out. We have the Life Insurance Corporation of India, which is going to provide the housing loan for you, and it is a major agency. Most of the people who have taken from the loan from the banks, they will shift over to LIC. And those people who have taken LIC loan, housing loan, they will come back to their original banks. Now, this is the shift depending upon the floating interest rate, fixed interest rate, whatever the agreement for which you have signed. And General Insurance Corporation of India is there. And we have the cooperative housing finance societies in our country. And we say scheduled banks are there, housing finance corporations are there. We have the public-private agencies are there, state apex closing cooperative societies are there, primary cooperative housing finance societies are there, state governments are there, housing and urban development corporation is there. So these are all the primary agencies which are going to fund for the people who are there in the down level. For example, we have the National Housing Board, which is going to provide the loan for the apex institutions in the state as well as in the other areas. So we see the reverse mortgage line. Now we shift to what is called as the reverse mortgage line, how it is being called, what is the number of people who are availing the loan, how those people were being called. In the 1970s, the genesis I am telling you, the historical evolution, the National Council of the Aging, that means to say those people who are retired from the service, the Veterans Administration Division of Housing and privately held senior advocacy groups begin feasibility studies to determine the merits of a federally insured home equity conversion mortgage. So it was called as HECM, Housing Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. They called it in 1970. They thought of what to do when we have lot of money. Whatever a person is going to earn, that particular person wants to spend the money for his daily needs, plus he wants to save some portion of money. Then he wants to make some investment in the housing and other real estate. Nowadays, real estate is a very upcoming area because most of the people wants to purchase the house in and around Bangalore, in and around Mysore, Tumkur, because in all these 3 tier cities, we see lot of real estate activities are taking place. New and new apartments are coming up in the outskirts, villas, and we say the single villas are also coming, which are being sold, and lot many RERA Act has been passed, Real Estate Act has been passed, and nobody can escape without hurting the minds of the people who have taken the loans and the villas from these people. We see lot many people like Prestige Group and the people who are there, Royal and the Brigade Group. They people are all making investment in this particular sector. And even I heard of the sunflower oil. This particular company is also making investment in Mysore for the purpose of constructing the villas outskirt of the Mysore city. In 1988, the President of the United States signs into the Federal Home Equity Conversion Mortgage Insurance Plan. Americans were the first to get this particular benefit, that is HECM mortgage. So in 1996, after a gap of 8 years, FNMA creates the Home Keeper Reverse Mortgage. Wall Street Journal states that they anticipate 16 million households to apply for reverse mortgages in 2010. That is in anticipation of another 15 years. In America, it is very high because you see in America, they spend money very lavishly for the very reasonable sense. The activities are also like that only because you spend, because an ordinary software engineer will get starting time only, he will get around 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs rupees in America. A well-versed system analyst and other senior software engineers who are going to act as a senior associate and business consultant or business associate, project leaders, team leaders, they are going to get in and around 75 lakhs to 80 lakhs. Some people will get more than 1 CR also. So why I am telling all this thing is because whenever you see lot of money is there that is being pumped into the hands of the public will also make lot of investment. For example, why real estate boom is there in Bangalore? It is because IT people are there. Bangalore is being considered as the hub for a software engineer. And you see, we see that Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore, the real estate has gone up like anything. And the people will say for 30-40 site house that is being constructed, 2 floor or 3 floor, they ask 2.5 CR. So this is the rate that is going to be there in Kengeri and some other places that is being widespread in the Pinia, Jalalli and Nagsandra metro station and Kanakpura road and all those things. Now, when we speak about the next issue as to how does the reverse mortgage differ from a traditional mortgage. For example, when you go for the mortgage of the asset, you are going to see that you have to give security for the bank whenever they are going to give the loan for you. Nobody will give the for you just because you are a government employee. Do anybody give the loan for us just because you are a government employee? No. The bank manager will ask you to give the letter from the principal or from the commissioner of the collegiate education or from the registrar of the university that you are a permanent employee of the collegiate education or the university, and asks you to give the side papers to him, which is being registered in his name. In the bank's name, the papers will go. So what is the difference is there are no payments to make. Therefore, you cannot lose your home for not making the payments. So here in the traditional mortgage, they will not give you any loan for you. Even if they give the loan, they will ask you to mortgage your house there. But in the normal reverse mortgage, you see, you need not give your house papers to the hands of the bank manager. A Xerox copy can be given to the bank people, but you are going to stay in that particular house. That is the major difference that you are going to see in the traditional mortgage and the reverse mortgage. And he will not ask you what is your income, what is your take home salary and all those things. In the reverse mortgage, they will not ask. But when they are giving the normal mortgage loan for you, they will ask you. and there is no credit requirement. Whether you have taken very good CIBIL score and all those things, nowadays we are going to ask. But that CIBIL score is not required for your reverse mortgage, because you are giving the house to the hands of the bank and you are availing the loan from the bank, and you are not asking the banker to pay a good lump sum amount at a stretch. You are going to take a part of that amount every year or every month as the agreement that you are going to enter with the banker. How it is going to work out? Reverse mortgage, it is equity or it is forward market, it is your cash. So your cash goes UP as your equity goes down. See, in the reverse mortgage, what happens? Your equity goes down, your cash increases. In reverse mortgage, forward mortgage, what happens? Your cash goes down, your equity goes up. That means to say you take 20 lakhs loan. So when you take 20 lakhs loan today, 8th or 9th of July 2025, you take 10 lakh rupees traditional loan. What happens? You go on paying the money to the banker every month. So what happens? Your ownership in your equity in the house goes on increasing to the extent of 25 lakhs. But in the reverse mortgage, what happens? Your equity goes down and your cash balance will go up because you are taking the money from the bank. This is the pictorial representation as to how the reverse mortgage is going to work. We are going to think of this is the thing how it is going to work out. When we remove funds from our investments, we reduce the income from our investments. So when you are going to remove the funds from our investment, we are going to reduce the income from our investments also. Next, reverse mortgage review. Let us have a summary of this. You always retain the title to the home. You are the owner. You are the real owner. Even if you have taken the loan, even if you are a mortgagee, you are the owner, because your ownership will not go. Your ownership will not be damaged. You are the real owner of the house, even though you have borrowed the loan from the bank. The loan is HUD designed and FHA insured. So whenever you are going to take the loan, it is being designed as per how much you require, at what age, and it is FHA insured. You have to insure your house, then only the house is going to be given the loan in the form of the reverse mortgage. Funds from a reverse mortgage are not taxable. So when you are taking the money from the bank, you need not pay any tax to the government. Sell the home at any time with no prepayment penalty. You can sell off. You can ask the banker, see, I have taken 5 lakh rupees from you. I want to sell my house and I want to settle your 5 lakh rupees. Whatever the remaining amount after selling, I will keep it. You take your 5 lakhs. Then the government is going to, then the banker will permit you on the basis of the stamp paper on which you are going to sign. And immediately on the day of the auction, or the person who is going to purchase the house, he is going to recover the amount that you have to pay for the banker. Money can be received in various ways and used for any purpose. You are going to take the money and you have to use it for the set purpose only. That is for the purpose of your food, for your better settlement. Number 2, for your medicine. And number 3, for the renovation of the house. You want to construct 2 rooms or first floor, then you can put up with the help of the mortgage, reverse mortgage. Then no debt is ever passed to your estate. So whatever the loan that is standing to your credit, it is to be paid by your legal heir, by your legal successor. He has to pay the money, settle the accounts with the bank from whom the father has taken the loan, and then he has to go for the registration of that particular house in his name. Then all retained equity is paid to your heirs. Suppose anybody will come and ask the banker, I don't want that house. You sell it off. The banker only will auction that particular house and the balance amount will be given to the legal heir. So what is the reverse mortgage basics? So you have to know what are the fundamentals of the reverse mortgage basics. Number 1, all borrowers must be 62 years old. So when you want to take the reverse mortgage loan, you should be 62 years old, or you might have crossed 62 years. All borrowers must be US citizens. At that time, it was there in America. That's why it has been put there like US citizens only. Later on, it spread to United Kingdom, France, Germany, other West European countries. Then it entered Asian countries also, even in India, also in Pakistan, in other countries, we have this particular reverse mortgage nowadays. Most of the banks have gone for the schemes under the reverse mortgage loan. At least one borrower must live in the property as is our primary residence. So the person who is there, who is the owner of the house, he has to live in that particular house. Or the primary person who is there, he has to be old off because he is the person who is responsible to settle the accounts with the banker. The property must be owner occupied. So you can see that you are going to raise the reverse mortgage loan only on the property which is self-constructed or self-property only. That means to say, I owned this particular site and the property was constructed in my name and it is the self-earned property. It is not the ancestral property. For the ancestral property, there will be so many legal heirs. Legal successors will be there. It is to be divided between the granddaughters and grandsons and all those things. But in reverse mortgage, when you want to get the RML, it is only on your self-acquired property only. Keep it in mind, it is only on self-acquired property. All borrowers must receive counseling. So they will ask the bank manager, just if you go and say, sir, I want some loan, please give me. The banker is not ready to give the money. What he says, why you require? Number two, for what purpose you want to make investment? Whether you do have sons and daughters, they are not taking care of you. What is the shortage of the money that you are facing for your comfort? So you have to lead a very comfortable life, no? As long as your last breath is there, you have to lead a happy life. That is the rationale behind the RML scheme. In addition, the maximum claim amount is 6,25,500 at that time in America. House equity, these particular schemes are federally insured. So you have to insure the house. Even in India also, they will insure nowadays. Otherwise, they will not give the loan for the reverse mortgage or for the housing construction also. When you want to go for a housing loan in Canara Bank or State Bank of India or National Bank or in private banks, they will ask you to first insure the house. The home equity conversion mortgage is commonly known as reverse mortgage. There is a government insured loan that allows homeowners who are 62 and older to convert some of their home equity into tax-free cash. So they will give the money to the hands of the money the owner will get. Equity in the house will pass on to the banker. So this is not tax advice, consult a tax professional. So you have to look into what are the pros and cons. What is the interest that is being charged on the RML in India? Which bank is coming out with the RML skill? What is the rate of interest? How many years they will give for you? Whether it is for 10 years or 15 years. As the agreement goes on, you have to look into. There are no monthly mortgage payments. So you have taken 5 lakh rupees. Every month you are drawing 50,000 rupees. For 1 year, you have drawn 6 lakhs. 13th month when you go, they will not ask you pay back 5 lakh rupees along with interest. Then only I will pay this installment. No, nothing like that is there. They will go on paying according to the requirement of you till the market value of that particular house is going to be reached. Then the loan must be repaid if the borrower does not meet loan obligations, including taxes and insurance he has to pay, as well as property upkeep and maintenance is to be done. Then HCMs are government insured. Most of the house equity conversion, this particular mortgage, it is all government insured only. Housing and economic recovery is going to be there, where in 2008, the Housing and Economy Recovery Act era was passed in America. It includes provisions such as origination fee limitations, cross-selling limitations, independence of counselors from lenders, HECM for purchase program. So all these additional things were brought because you had to pay the fees to the people like municipality, you have to pay the property tax, you have to pay the water tax, you have to pay some other cess that is being imposed in some other foreign countries. All these things you have to pay. Cross-selling limitations. You can sell it, enter into an agreement with the other party to sell the property and make the settlement with the banker. Or you can go for the tax consultation, take his advice. Or you can see that the bank himself is going to purchase the asset from you. The HCM for purchase might be appropriate for borrowers who are downsizing, moving to a one-level home, or require handicap access, want to be closer to their children or grandchildren, or moving to a 55 plus community, wish to purchase a new home without having a monthly payment. So all these schemes will be there. So any person who has reached 55, so when 55 comes to the a particular who is there as an employee, he will be very busy. He will be thinking of, oh, all these days I led a very happy life. Now what happens? The retirement is fast approaching. 60th year I am retiring. Only 5 years are left out. So how much I have to save? How much loan I have to clear? Housing loan is there. My daughter's education fees are there. My son's education fees are there. So you have to repay all those things. Then what is left out to you? What is the additional income source that is left out to you? Generally, we think on those lines now, because nowadays all those people who are employed after 1/4/2006, they will be very serious. They want to take the NPS, new pension scheme, 10% of your or 12% or 14% of your basic pay is going to be deducted, and it is going to be added to your NPS fund. Then you think of how much money I am going to get back. Then at the end, how much is given to me out of the NPS fund? 60% according to the recent calculation by the government. They say 60% of the total contribution by the employer and the employee you are going to get. So 60% means you are getting 50% your own contribution, what you have credited to the NPS account, plus 10% principal from the government side. Another 40%, they will keep it in the NPS account only, make investment in gilt-edged securities, and out of that, whatever the dividends or the interest that they are going to earn, that amount will be given as the pension for you. This is the new pension policy that is being followed, and this committee has given the report to the DPAR cell, that is the Department of Personal Grievances and Personnel. They have given this particular report. So any particular person wants to construct a house before he gets to 55. So live in a neighborhood that is more social or which provides easier access to shopping, medical care, other amenities. More facts about the HM for purchase. Builders and real estate agents can use this product to sell more properties. HCM for purchase loans have the same products, limits, rates, and servicing fees. The borrower must make some investment toward the purchase. HCM for purchase loans only apply to owner-occupied primary residences. So this is how it looks. The things are going to be. This is before, after this one. The new home and the current home. So you are going to make some renovation and all those things. You want to lead a very happy life, a comfortable life. You don't want to be in a very difficult situation. These two pictorial representations shows that you should be happy as long as you are going to be there on this earth. So market opportunity is going to be there. You look into when you are going to get the RML when you reach the age of 60 years or 62 years, as the case may be. In India, after 60 years, you are going to retire. So immediately after 60 years, you can go for RML, or you can go for 65 years also. They have given the minimum age as well as the maximum wage that is being given to you for the purpose of claiming the RML. In 2011, nearly 5 lakh households of homeowners in the age 62 plus bracket moved to different homes. How realtors can be benefited, real estate people. This could help you increase your listings, produce more sales, expedites closing, more opportunity to work with builders in your community. Next, how the program works. Buyers can save and invest more of their profits from the sale of their current homes. At closing, they only bring the difference between the mortgage profits and the sale price, because your house is being sold for 2 crores. How much you have to pay for the bank who has given the RML for you? That is 75 lakhs. So what is the difference? 2 crores is the sale proceeds. 75 lakhs is the RML amount that you have to repay to the bank. So 1.25 CR is your net proceeds that you can keep with you when you want to sell the property. There are no monthly mortgage payments and the loan does not need to be repaid. Nobody will come and force, oh, come on, Mr. X, you have taken the RML loan, you have to repay. how long you are taking the money from us. They will not ask you because it is the RML loan that is being given to you. What is the strategy? This is a strategy because they are going to make you to think of the liquidity on the one side and the downsizing on the other side. These problems are going to show you as to what is the amount of the money that you have to pay in the form of the down payment. For example, sale price of the old home is $5 lakh. Then 8% closing stock, whatever the amount that you want to spend for the renovation and sell the property, $40,000. Then the net profits, what you receive is $4,60,000. New home price is $3,50,000. Then HCM for purchase, 1,80,543 that you are going to pay. Then down payment will be 1,69,457. So from profits, you are going to get a difference of 2,90,543. This is how the things are going to be calculated. Next, we have the another thing. They do not want any monthly mortgage payments. What is the funds that is going to remain at the end? We are going to calculate without a HCM for purchase and with a HCM for purchase. Next, the advantages of HCM is going to be there. You can consider all those things. Then why an MIP or an insurance fund you look into? The proceeds from a reverse mortgage are not considered to be income. It is not your income because you are taking the loan on the house which is self-occupied by you. It is a self-acquired property. You have created the asset and you have got every right to take the loan on that particular thing. It is also a percentage of the annual outstanding balance, we call it as. So you can use that particular RML amount what you are borrowing from the bank for the purpose of making payment to the municipal corporation. Property tax, house property tax you pay, no, that you can pay. Medicare for your Medicare, hospital expenses. Medical aid when you are being admitted to the hospital. Social security income will be there, SSS you can take into. Borrower should consult with a tax consultant or an accountant to review eligibility for all such programs. Then you have the ineligible properties. What are eligible and what are ineligible you are going to look into. It is a single family home, HUD, FHA, condominium, a manufactured home that meets certain requirements, and 2 to 4 unit properties. So condominium, that is the thing that we are going to use in America and in the West European countries. We call flats and apartments, no, they call it as condominium. Ineligible properties include cooperative units, new construction with no certificate of occupancy, boarding houses, bed and breakfast properties, existing manufactured homes were built before 1976 July, have moved or otherwise do not meet all FHA and FAR standards. So all these things are not being used. What is the eligibility to get the RML from the bank? The number one is you should be 62 years age or more and eligible for non-borrowing spouses. Okay, spouse, both husband and the wife can borrow because some of the properties will be in the joint name, no? So a wife and the husband, both of them should agree to borrow the money. A non-borrowing spouse is permissible, but we factor his or her age into the calculation. So her age is also taken into consideration. When husband is going to take the RML, a wife age is also taken into consideration, whether she has the capacity to repay the money. The mandatory HUD counseling is done. Home must be the primary residence only, self-acquired property only. You can take the RML. Borrowers own the property and as such are responsible for paying all property charges. Borrowers must bring the difference between the purchase price of the home and the HCM process. So principal limit factors, the lowest of the three you are going to get. What is the lowest of the three? Appraised value. What is the value that is being fixed by the appraiser? The bank people will come to your house. They will make survey. How many floors is there? How many units are there? How many dwelling units are there? How much rent is coming? Whether the person has got the capacity to repay the RML that he has taken. Appraised value, he is going to tell you what is the value of that particular property. Then sales price also, he will take into consideration. Maximum claim amount, how much we can give for a property worth rupees 1 crore in the market, you are going to get around 75 to 80 lakhs. So 20 lakhs will be kept as the margin with the banker. Then the process, how the process will continue. First, the counseling will be done by the tax consultant or by the banker. Then application is to be routed by the person who wants to take the HCM. Then financial assessment, the appraiser will go and do that particular appraiser, what is the value of the asset. Then processing is going to be done. What is the property appraisal and all those things. Then after processing, closing is going to be done. So closing is typically 30 to 45 days after application. After borrowers decide to purchase a more desirable home, a real estate agent can sell their existing home, determine the purchase price range, and identify properties of interest. Then repayment, how you can do? Today's buyers want the whole package. The buyer who is going to purchase the house, who is going to sell the house to the another person, they don't want to take in installment. They want to take the money in lump sum. Then work and volunteering is going to be done. Then family and friends are going to be taken into consideration. Appropriate maintenance-free housing, whether it is going to be looked into. Green energy efficient property, because today we speak about the green banking, green commerce, greenhouse, everything is green. Remember that buyers buy emotionally and justify logically. So you buy the house emotionally, but you have to justify logically. This is the amount that I am getting. I am ready to pay the money and all those things. You have to make the things. So this is how the approximate down payment that is being required by the borrower is going to be done. So when you are receiving the age 2,50,000 rupees, then at the age of 62, 1,32,000, at the age of 65, 1,27,000, at the age of 1,19,000, at the age of 75, 1,09,000, at the age of 80, $88,000. Why the things go on decreasing? Because there are chances where your requirement for the medical care and for your own comfortable living is going to increase more. That's why the interest rates are going to be taken into consideration. Then amortization. What is amortization? The amortization schedule is a year-by-year analysis of the reverse mortgage loan balance and fees over time. So how much you are taking? Today is July month, we are in 2025. So how much money you borrowed today? 50,000 rupees. Next August 25, another 50,000. October 25. So you take another 50,000 rupees. Then comes November, another 50,000 rupees. So it goes on accumulating. Since payments are never required, interest and mortgage insurance accrue to make the loan balance grow. So it will be growing. Your equity increases in the house, but your cash inflow is going to increase. The amount the borrower owes on the loan and the equity change over time as the property typically appreciates. Because we have always in real estate, the house properties are going to be appreciated only. Never we say any person took the loan, constructed the house, the total cost for him is 3.5 crore and he has sold the property for 3 crores. Have you heard of? Nothing like that. Why? Because always the properties in India, it's showing a appreciation, but it is not showing the depreciation. Even if the loan balance exceeds the property value over time, the mortgage insurance protects the federal government. So any particular bank which has given the loan, if it exceeds the amount that it has to recover from that particular home, then the government is going to help it through the insurance. So this is all relating to your property value and the equity. So the equity value increases, you are going to see that the property value is also going to increase over a period of time. Financial advisors are there. They will help you as to how to make your retirement planning process, where to make investment, because we are all commerce and management students. We know how the portfolio analysis is to be done. Whenever you are making the investment, you take into consideration that you do not want to take the risk by investing in single portfolio. Whatever the savings that you have, hard-earned money, you don't want to put it in mutual funds only. Do you put all money in mutual funds only? No. Why? Because there is diversification. You make investment in long-term equity. You make investment in MSME unit, small and medium cap. You make investment in contra funds. You make investment in some other tax planning. Like that you are going to make them. Why you make like that? Because your portfolio wants to be diversified. The loss in one portfolio should be made good in another portfolio. You don't want to make investment only in mutual fund. You want to make a fixed deposit. FD, you want to keep money in post office, you want to purchase a land, you want to construct a house, or you want to purchase a gold. So many avenues are there today because portfolio is going to be very large. So what the people are going to tell for you, when it comes to selling a home secured by a home equity conversion mortgage, you see that the HCM and real estate industry professionals are going to be there and they are going to advise you. Studies on reverse mortgage, all these universities have done active studies on the reverse mortgage. Rand Corporation, Ohio State University, George Washington University, Dept, retirement researcher, Federal Reserve Bank, FRB, AARP, Columbia Business School, Wall Street Journal, National Information Center on Retirement Investments, and the countries that offer reverse mortgages are at present out of 192 countries. You see Canada, Australia, India, Japan, China, Germany, Spain, Sweden, Finland, France, Korea. They all make the reverse mortgage. They have all entered into RML. What are the different types of reverse mortgage? One is term. So you are going to enter into an agreement with the bank. That is called as term reverse mortgage. RML, term reverse mortgage, we call it as. What is that? You say, I want money for 5 years from today. So July, you start taking the money. You take the money for the next 5 years. Then what happens? You think about, if you have the income additional, then you can repay the money and you can go for a fresh RML also. Second one is split RML. You are going to make the payment also, little every month you want to receive, and afterwards you want to sell it and you want to repay the money. And tenure wise, you are also going to take line of credit. Reverse mortgage offers borrowers access to a source of money, then they can use whenever and however they can choose. The principal limit is approved based on the borrower's home value. So they take into consideration, this is the amount you have reached the age of 70 years, 72 years, 73 years, as the case may be. Home value, age of the borrower, origination fee, and percentage of shared appreciation will be taken into consideration. So in the term description, borrower receives monthly payments for a set period of time. In split term, borrowers receive monthly payments for a set term. The payments will stop at the end of the set term. Tenure, borrower receives monthly payments as long as he lives in the house. Loan has to be repaid on death of borrower or on his move out. When he goes off, yes, I want to leave this house, you auction it, or I will sell it and give back your money. That is the end of the tenure RML. Then we have the line of credit. Reserves, mortgage offers borrowers access to a source of money they can use whenever and however they choose. And another one is the hybrid term. Reverse mortgage combines the features of term or tenure plan and line of credit plan. So they will take into consideration all these things, and the equal monthly payments are going to be turned to the borrower. Lifetime, you are going to say as long as you are going to be alive, you need not pay the money for the banker. Roll up, a lifetime reverse mortgage offered in UK with an added feature of lending additional cash advance. You are going to do it. Next. So fixed payment loans will be there. The borrower gets cash in lump sum. And shared appreciation mortgage, borrower agrees with the lender that they can have a share in any increase in the value of the borrower house when it is sold. So you make entry agreement with the banker that I am going to borrow the money for the time being, but whenever there is increase in the value of my building, I am going to sell it for the outsider, or you share the appreciation money with me. They are going to, I enter into an agreement. There are two types of reverse mortgage. One is forward mortgage and reverse mortgage. Forward mortgage purpose is to purchase a home in forward mortgage. The reverse mortgage purpose is to generate the income because you require money monthly to lead a comfortable life. Then borrower population is general population. Borrower population consists of SCBs only. Only senior citizen borrowers can apply for the reverse mortgage. In the case of forward mortgage, borrower needs income. This is my income. I am eligible for this type of loan. You can ask the limit 15 lakhs, 50 lakhs you want. But here no income qualification is required for reverse mortgage. Before closing, borrower has no equity in the home, but a borrower has substantial equity in the house at closing. So the borrower will be having lot of interest because the rise in the appreciation of the property will make that particular borrower that he can sell it house and he can repay the RML. Here in the case of the forward mortgage, you look, borrower makes monthly loan payments because he has taken the money for the purchase of the house. But in the case of the reverse mortgage, the banker will pay the money to the owner of the house. In the case of the loan term, you have to, borrower's liability is going to be zero. But in the end, the end of the loan term, borrower's liability will be more. That means to say your equity decreases, cash flow will be more in the case of the reverse mortgage. But in the case of the housing loan or the purchase, your equity in the house increases, whereas your cash balance is going to show a lesser amount because you are paying the money every month to clear off the loan that you have borrowed for the purpose of purchasing the house. Borrower's equity increases over time. Here, borrower's equity decreases over time. So here it is in reverse market, it is rising debt. I underline rising debt, falling equity. But here it is falling debt, whereas it is rising equity. Your equity in the house increases in the forward mortgage. But in the reverse mortgage, your equity is going to fall. So we have borrowers have more incentive to make capital investment. Borrowers have less incentive to make capital investment. Borrowers makes repayment of the loan. No need to make repayment of the loan. You need not make the loan repayment. So risk in the reverse mortgages, what are the risks that are being associated in the reverse mortgages? One is guarantees in reverse mortgage. Each type of guarantee has an associated benefit to the policy owner and a risk to the provider. We can take an analogy of this innovation and interpret the unique features of reverse mortgages as a bundle of the guarantees. So unless you give the guarantee, your contract is not going to be moved. What is the guarantee? Tenancy guarantee will be there. What is tenancy guarantee? You are going to live in that particular house as long as you wish. The borrower can live in that house till his last breath. He need not pay the money. Income guarantee, no monthly payment. If you have additional source, you go on paying. But when you don't have the income guarantee, that is also not there. Repayment guarantee, the banker will not ask you to repay because the interest will go on accumulating on the reverse mortgage loan. Non-recourse guarantee, lenders accepts any assets of the borrowers other than the mortgage house for repayment of loan. Here, in the case of the reverse mortgage, you can't make the asset of the other property that are there in the name of the parimal person who has taken the loan cannot be attached. So crossover risk is going to be there. Risk of loan value exceeding the house. What is that? You are giving the money. If the value of the house is 1.5 CR, you are giving 1.75 CR. Then what it happens? It is crossover risk only. Typical risk management methods will be there. Conservatism in deterministic factors like interest rate, appreciation rate, etc. Other methods include charging shared appreciation. Next, we have the longevity risk of borrower living longer than expected. Then it is very difficult for you because if a person is going to live for 100 years, you estimate that he is going to live for 20 years. But he is going to live for 100 years means you have to pay more money for him. Then you have to settle with other accounts. Charge the premium for non-aggregate longevity risk. Hedge the aggregate longevity risk using mortality-based securities. So you have to always look into the mortality rate. Here, anti-selection risk of house value being overstated by intermediaries. Some people may say if it is 1 crore worth, they may say, no, sir, it is worth 2 crores. Then if you give more loan for that, then you will be under problem. The banker will be under problem. This risk can be controlled using standardized and uniform process for valuation. That's why the bank people will send the valuers to your house to make survey. They want to know what is the real value of that particular house property. Next, moral hazard is going to be there. Risk control measures like an audit by lender or a procedure to periodically verify the product, whether that particular property is there or not, whether this particular person has entered into some other lease agreements. Usually happens in a very clever mindset. The people will sell the same house with different documents to the different people in Bangalore. That is going to be more risky. That should not happen with the banker. Risk of borrower's improper or negligent maintenance of property. You don't care for the RCC. painting, interior decoration of the house, everything is kept haphazard, you don't pay the property taxes, then the property will be seized by the corporations or by the municipality. Litigations will be there. Some of your brothers or sisters may sue because you have taken the loan on the RML. Then you are the self-acquired property that is to be looked into very much. Whether you have acquired the property, then only you are very much keen to take the RML. Otherwise, you are not having any right to get the thing. More careful contractual procedures will be there because litigation expenses you have to take into consideration. So these are the things that we look into. Next, we go for why reverse mortgage has failed in India. The main problem as to why RML has failed in India and it has prospered in other country, in UK, USA, France, Germany, Japan, China, Korea, you see, the people don't have the sentimental value towards their legal heirs. But in India, it is a very peculiar situation. The father wants to inherit or he wants to give some property to his own son or the daughter. He wants to give. That is the sentimental value. Because of that, what happened? The father cannot lead a happy life. Why he can't lead a happy life? Because he has made investment on the house for the purchase, interior decoration of the house, painting, property tax, house loan payment, everything. Then to whom you are going to give? You are going to pass it on to your legal heir, either a daughter or a son. That's why most of the people, they say, let us not go for RML. If we go for RML, what happens? The legal heir or the legal successor, they have to clear the loan with the banker, then only the property will be registered in their name. The father or the mother, they don't want to take a bad name. Oh, so much of loan is there on this house. Why should I inherit those things? Because already 50 lakhs loan is there. What is the value of the property? It is 60 lakh. Only I am getting 10 lakh rupees extra. That is going to be the emotional attachment that a son has got towards a father. So you have to look into all these things. Because despite having so many advantages, it is helpful for the senior citizens only. But RML should be taken in a proper systematic way. That is for your life to be led in a comfortable way. Why it has failed in India? It is a predominant tendency for Indians to treat owned property as an important family asset. If your grandfather wants to give the land to you, he wants to see that there is no loan attached to the lands. If he wants to give a house for you, he wants to see that no loan is there for the property that you are going to inherit. But that situation may be very remote nowadays because of the increasing cost of the medical care. Today you go to any JSS hi-fi hospital or in Bombay, Kolkata, Bangalore, Chennai. You see, in all these cosmopolitan and metropolitan 2-tier and 3-tier cities, medical cost has gone up like anything. If you are there in ICU, the Apollo hospital will charge you 25,000 rupees if you are being attacked by corona or something like that. Exorbitant medical care cost is increasing. That's why people wants to go for RML. The elderly tend to hold a place of importance in Indian culture. So they don't want to get a bad name. Oh, they had kept so much of loan. That's why he gave that house to me. They don't want to hear this from their son and the daughter. Property ownership in India is considered as an inheritable subset, which is ideally handed over to the legal heirs. So everyone wants to give the loan and he wants to give the assets also. Another point to note is that in reverse mortgage, the loan amount is capped at rupees 50 lakh. Now it is 1 lakh. Therefore, availing the same in key metro cities where property prices usually range from 1.5 to 3 crores is less lucrative for the borrower. So always the people will think of, I have taken loan here. It is only 550 lakh to 1 lakh. If my property would have been there in the metro city, I would have taken the RML of up to 1.5 to 3 CR. There was no lifetime income which most retirees search for in any fixed income. The RML will not be available for all the people because they always think of that it is going to be associated with the risk. Another thing is that most Indians have erroneous perception about reverse mortgage as the product itself not well understood in India. So lack of awareness is another important thing. But nowadays I don't say that it is, because this was there in the preamble in the early stage. But nowadays everybody is well aware of the financial products that are available in the market. Only thing is the banks and the Reserve Bank of India have to make this particular scheme more popular so that the more senior citizen borrowers, SCBs, are going to opt for this particular reverse mortgage and they are going to lead a comfortable life. What is the eligible amount of the RML? As your age increases, your percentage of the loan also increases. When you are in the age of 60 to 65 age, you are getting 40% of the assessed value. When your age is 66 to 70, 50%. When your age is 71 to 75, you get 60% of the assessed value. When it is above 75, you get 70% of the assessed value. Who are all the players in Indian society, Indian topography? RML in India. June 5, 2007, ICICI, Bank of Baroda, and Oriental Bank Insurance Companies, they went for this. Also, it was started by Allahabad Bank, Indian Bank, and Corporation Bank. June 15, 2007, LIC Housing Finance Corporation started. June 19, 2007, Nucleus Software announces new software for the RML, because you have to calculate the mortality rate and you have to calculate the amount of the money that you can give. Then July 30, Union Bank of India launched its scheme. July 31st, operational guidelines from national housing banks and prime lending institutions. October 12, 2007, State Bank of India announced its schemes. November 1st, 2007, Central Bank of India launches. So this particular thing was adopted by the finance minister in the Lok Sabha. We had that particular person. Chidambaram's father was the idea behind this particular reverse mortgage, who introduced this particular thing in the Lok Sabha. Market uptake, low adoption, you can look into. Major FFC players sold only 4 to 5 loans in 2 years. Fewer than 500 loans were issued in 2007. Overall, a fingertip count of cases reported by Axis Bank. So these are the key providers and their schemes. Bank of Baroda calls the SBI RML as Baroda Ashray. What is the money given? 1 crore, tenure 15 years. Bank of India BOI Star Reverse Mortgage, amount given is 5 lakhs to 50 lakhs. Rate of interest is 10.95%. Indian Bank in the reverse mortgage, 75 lakhs maximum. Margin, they say. Union Bank of India reverse mortgage, they call it as, are not publicly specified. Union Bank of India. Axis Bank reverse mortgage loan, they say limited uptake noted. IDBI reverse mortgage loan, they say mentioned by India filings. Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Bank of India, Indian Overseas Bank, LIC, Housing, Shanti Housing, they all go for various reverse mortgage and they are mentioning their own schemes. State Bank of India up to 2 crore, up to 1.5 crore in other areas. In metros, 2 crore. Key features for senior citizens, 60 plus, they should be. Property should be self-occupied. Loan disbursed in periodic payments. No repayment until death. Option for lump sum for medical emergencies. Tenure typically up to 15 years. Bank of Baroda up to 1 crore. Tenure 15 years. We have all these peculiar features that are being there. Revaluation of property every 5 years. Monthly, quarterly, annuity payments. Then Bank of India Star Reverse Mortgage Loan, 5 lakhs to 30 lakhs, 10.95% interest rate. Borrowers should be of 60 plus years. Then adoption rates by the banks, overall penetration negligible, we don't consider. Regional gaps will be there and bank-wise trends are also existing. Indian Bank, it is 75 lakhs, over 60 years you should be, and you should be free from all encumbrances. You have to apply for the EC from the sub-registrar office of your district. So your taluk office will give the EC that there is no encumbrances on this particular property. Only when the encumbrances certificate you have taken and there is no encumbrances on this property, you are eligible for the RML. Union Bank of India, they say it is disbursed up to 15 years. Then Axis Bank, aged 60 plus, Based on location and valuation, they are going to give the loan for you. Then IDBI Bank, similar terms as NHB model, they disburse monthly or quarterly as the situation may be. Other banks, housing finance component, governed by National Housing Bank guidelines, interest rate varies from 9% to 11%. Barriers to adoption. Apart from your sentiment and other things, what are the adoption barriers? It is families, view home equity. It is a burden. It is not a cash flow. Whatever the money that you borrow for the senior citizens, everything will be in the form of expenditure only. No cash is going to be there in the hands of the people. That's why they don't want to borrow. Low awareness and poor marketing. Banks are not coming forward to give this particular schemes and they are not making it very popular. Structural and eligibility problems will be there. Property age restriction 40 years and above. If the property is 40 years and above, then the people will say, oh, it is 40 years ago that we can't give the RML for you. And they will say insurance is mandate. You have to insure your house and pay the insurance premium also, housing loan. Then administrative burden will be there, legal aid notification, auction is to be done, sale property, it is going to be a big complication. The owner will come and they will say, no, you can't take this house. This is my inherited property, my ancestral property. Like that, I have got very bondage with this, something you can say. Then there are all going to be complications. So with this, we are going to end the reverse mortgage. If any of the participants have got any doubts relating to retail industry, foreign direct investment, and with regard to the reverse mortgage, the house is open. You can ask questions.
So
Hope
good
I
evening.
think you understood the different concepts that I have told.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any
New
doubts?
concept.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Any
sir.
Sir, good evening,
questions?
sir.
You can ask.
Yes,
You are
sir.
free to ask.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why do you think banks are not promoting this?
Because they think that this particular money will be recovered by the banks. It is a hidden agenda. Because
Okay.
you also know that one, and I also know as a banker, when we are sitting in the banker's capacity, when we give the loan, we get the money rolled back only when the property is sold.